We're live. We're live. Hi, Robert J. Conley here. Welcome, everyone. And I'm here to cause smart decisions. Hey, did you notice I've been saying I'm here to cause prudent decisions? And tonight I said I'm here to cause smart decisions. You know why I changed that? Because people, and in particular, one really smart, intuitive person pointed out to me that prudence doesn't necessarily work well, ring to the ear, or it has connotations that are negative. And so I'm sharing that just because I want to demonstrate that all of us, we're working from trial and error, and we're just putting it out there, we also need to constantly listen to our feedback. And so when you're fortunate like I am to know people much smarter than me, then you listen to them and you act accordingly. And so this one person's initial feedback guided me on that. I got some additional feedback. And so from now on, I'm going to tell you I'm here to cause smart decisions. And I am hopefully going to do that a little bit tonight. All right. So this video is about priorities. And without priorities, everything matters, and therefore nothing matters. All right, so first, some housekeeping. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you benefit from this video, please share it with a friend. And if you have any questions or comments, either right now or if you're watching this later, by all means, throw them down there and I will respond as I can. All right. So there are just 4 questions you need to ask yourself. And depending on where you are in the process, you can ask them every day. But it's this simple. I'm going to give you these 4 questions. And you just go down this list. And every time you hit a no, you stop and you work on that. So this is review. So I can't remember if I've ever shared this or not, but also share something else because I think it's some wisdom that I got from another mentor. And that is that if you have the opportunity to repeatedly talk about, have the opportunity to talk repeatedly, like I do these 5 nights a week. And if you want people to learn, you're far better off repeating the same thing 50 times than saying 50 different things 50 times or each time. So, I'm just going to continually go through this process, and hopefully some of you guys sitting in the back of the room will start paying attention. All right. So the 4 questions. Do I have a purpose? Do I have a plan? Do I know the right people? Do I have a process? And like I said, every time you go down that short list, you stop at the first no and you work on it. That doesn't mean that you stop your life. There are the practicalities of, you've got to go take that crummy job right now, but you sure as heck better be working on your purpose so that you can take your game to a new level. And so stop at every no. And when you have 4 yeses, you'll have the 5th of those 5 Ps, and that being product. When you can answer all 4, you'll have a product. So I want to tell you a short story from this week. The other day, I had someone ask me why I was against young people going to college. And I'm not. In fact, I'm going to tell you a story about a young person going to college. But what I am against is going into debt without a clear purpose for going to college. That college is a tool. It's not a 4-year resort in which to go into astronomical debt that you will have strapped around your neck into your 40s. So college is a tool. So I'm going to tell you about Nick. Now, Nick realized at a rather young age that he loved science and that he was very interested in it. He was blessed to have 2 parents very committed to him exploring those, what was available out in science. And so as a high schooler, his mom would take him to different scientific organizations and took him to different colleges. And just very early on, it was obvious that he had the wherewithal and the interest in science that would warrant going to college out of high school. Straight A student, great score, just everything. And so what triggered me wanting to talk about this is because to me, he basically, at a very young age, fulfilled what I'm talking about. And I think the other thing that the reason I'm bringing this up too is that it's a rarity that there's this kind of it's a rarity that there's this time of clarity at that young age. But at any rate, so what you could say, he could say to himself, do I have a purpose? Yes. My purpose is to be, and at this point it would be, he's going to study physics. So it'd be something in the realm of that. And so even, so as I've talked about before about purpose, being a physicist is not his purpose. His purpose is like to be a discoverer, or it could be to be a teacher. It could be any number of things. Physics is the channel by which he will be pursuing it. And so, he had this purpose. Do I have a plan? Well, yeah, a strategy. My strategy is that I'm going to do as well as I possibly can on the academic front in high school. And I'm going to do all the things that I know lead up to me getting into the college of my dreams. And as I mentioned earlier, between himself and his parents, and so the next one is people. Do I know the right people? And so what I want to make clear here is that knowing the right people isn't in that nepotistic or insider meaning of, oh, he knew the right people, he got in. No, he got to know the right people to ask the right questions to understand what he was getting into. That's who the right people were at that point in time. And now the new right people will be those with whom he'll be affiliated in his college. And so knowing the right people, and remember, and again, if you're seeing this for the first time, one of the things I teach is that the lie that goes around sometimes is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And my reply is, it's what you know and it's who you know. And there's no one you can't meet. And so he went through the thing of knowing the right people. Now, we say, do you have a process? Well, he has been engaged in this process of getting into college. He'll now engage in a new process called college that will lead him to having a new product. So now he's on the verge of being a high school graduate. And then he'll be on the he'll be in the process of college, in the process of becoming a physicist. Good chance he'll, probably go all the way through to a PhD. So he could be looking at the next, 10 years, we'll say, in being a student to matriculate through to being a PhD physicist. So he'll be immersed in that process. And then he will emerge with a product that is true to his purpose. And so again, that whole thing though of going back to purpose, and let's say that he hit a snag or he figured out that he didn't want to be a physicist, that something else grabbed his attention, which could very likely happen. There will still be this common thread. And in fact, if there were a little bit of a twist, that would add to his ability to not redefine his purpose, but to gain further understanding of what his purpose actually is. So, I'm going back to purpose. So when we talk about going to college, the thing is, don't go there without knowing what your purpose is. Go there with prior. So by knowing what your purpose is, you now can prioritize what your classes are and take ones that matter. If you go without and you have no priorities, everything matters, nothing matters. You end up spending a whole bunch of money on classes that add nothing to you except debt. All right. So that was short and sweet. It may not have been that sweet, but anyway, I want to congratulate that guy. He knows who he is, and tremendous job. So keep going through the 4 questions anytime you have a chance. Do I have a purpose? Do I have a plan? Do I know the right people? Do I have a process? And if you'll keep doing that, you will end up with a product. That's all I've got today. I'll see you next week. Take care.